don't know about you guys, but by the time I get home and have to get everything done, it's a little tough. 6 o'clock was tough. So we've changed it to 7 o'clock. Let's see how this works out. So if there's anyone here, well, we'll wait and see. I got to give it a few minutes. I've been told I need to slow down, and I am going to listen to my wonderful coaches in my life, even though I don't know if they all know that they're my coaches. Miller knows he's my coach. I think Megan understands she's my coach at this point. It's like the Jedi, right? The Padawan becomes the Jedi. So anyways, all right. So let's get this party started. I think that's about 2 minutes, so that should be good. So welcome everyone. It is Monday. Some people don't exactly like when it's Monday, but that's what we're going to talk about today, the power of choices. So welcome here to Strategies for Success. And let's get this party started, shall we? If you want, you can drop something in the chat. And yes, 7 o'clock is much better. I'm glad. I think so too. I think I'm a little more relaxed and ready for this. So let's look at these strategies and let's talk about making some successful choices today. So, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about tonight was sometimes we might feel trapped because our brain starts telling us that there's only one option. And when it does that, we start pushing forward because we just got to keep going. And then we might get into like a survival mindset. And often we are striving to move forward, but really we're staying stuck because we just keep doing what we've always done. So, what if the breakthrough isn't some huge life decision or cathartic change? What if it starts with remembering one simple thing? You have a choice. Hi, I'm Doc Pender, and this is All About Solutions. And tonight we're going to talk about strategies for success and the power of choices. And of course, I got to do my fun legal disclaimer. And this content is for educational purposes only, also coaching purposes. But if you do need therapy, counseling, or any medical advice, please seek that elsewhere. That is not where we are here. We are simply trying to encourage some healthy habits and give you some strategies for success. And hi, James. Congratulations to James. He graduated this weekend. Let's go. Bachelor's of Science in Mechanical Engineering. Super proud of him. Go Florida Poly. All right. So we got through all that mumbo jumbo. So welcome again to this channel. This is where you are hopefully going to be encouraged. We're all about solutions and helping people move forward. So we take you from your problems to possibilities and solutions. And one of the most powerful ways that we move forward is by recognizing that we're not powerless. We have a choice. So let's look a little bit about those choices. So feeling stuck often makes our brain just lock in and it narrows our perspective. And that's where this all or nothing feeling can come in. And our nervous system tends to shift into survival mode. And you might have heard of fight and flight, but there's also a freeze step that makes us just shut down. And again, that's when it's really difficult to think about the choices and the options that are out there. So it's imperative that we recognize those patterns so that we can move forward. And so often when I start working with people, everyone from kiddos that are 5 or 6 all the way up to 70 and 80-year-olds, they stop seeing that there's possibilities. They stop seeing that there's options. They're very locked into the pain and suffering that they are feeling at that moment. And this isn't to negate that, it's to take that and use it to move forward. It's to show people that you don't have to stay stuck, that we can keep moving forward. So at that time, it's decisions might feel heavy and your brain is searching for certainty rather than growth. So again, often when I first start working with people, I might hear how bad everything is and they feel hopeless and that there aren't any options. But it's this dysregulated nervous system that often interprets uncertainty as danger. So that's when that shutdown happens. They're nervous, they want to be safe. And that's where we need to show that options and choices are available to them. So, literally, the brain likes predictability even when it's an unhealthy routine, because that might feel safer than any kind of change. So that's why people tend to stay stuck. And often that's the point where you need someone else to come in and help, or to maybe evaluate and show you different areas that'll help you get unstuck so that you can move forward. Because these stuck patterns are actually exhausting. So you don't have to have everything figured out. Sometimes the first step is simply realizing that you have choices. And if we look at this slide, it says choices create movement, movement creates momentum, and momentum creates change. And that's exactly what we're looking for. That's a great pattern. That's a very healthy pattern. When we recognize that those choices are there, that's when we can get unstuck. There's that movement. And that's when we can get into our momentum. Yay. I got a whole crew here. Hey, Miller. So we just want to make sure that we're moving in that pattern and we understand that that pattern is super attainable. So it's amazing what happens when we understand that movement is possible. And again, it's through our choices. So let's recognize that sometimes we start thinking in absolutes. That might be that very black and white thinking. It's staying stuck, thinking things like I'm never going to change. This situation's never going to change. I'm way too far behind. This is just how my life is. This is how my family lived. This is how I'm going to live. So instead, we want to look at different areas that we can see if we have maybe limited ourselves into these absolutes. It could be work, it could be our health, it could be relationships or mindsets, it could be all of it. But it's taking the time to step back and really figure out if we have locked ourselves into this all or nothing thinking about a situation. And sometimes we don't even know we're saying it. I had a client that I worked with one time, and she negated just getting healthier. Her parents had a rough relationship. Her grandparents had a rough relationship. She just had gotten out of a difficult relationship. And she was pretty much resigned to the fact that no matter who she ended up with, she was going to break up with. So it was this all or nothing. Like he was either going to be Prince Charming and come sweep her off her feet, or he was just this horrible person. So we had to challenge that absolute thinking and explore some choices in order to help her move forward. And I love, love, love this quote. So we are not born winners or losers, we're born choosers. And funny enough, this popped up on my Facebook memories today from like 14 or 15 years ago. And at that time, I gave Mary Kay, yes, the cosmetic lady, the credit with this quote because I must have seen it somewhere. But when I looked it up today, I got Alistair McCaw, who is a coach himself. So it's kind of interesting quotes, right? And can't believe everything you read off the internet. But it's such a powerful quote, no matter who said it. I think it's really important that we take a minute and consider the fact that no, we're not all born winners, but we're also not all born losers. We're born as choosers, meaning that luck or talent, that's not it. Let's look at our decisions. So a lot of the times we hype ourselves up and think and compare. That person over there, they're doing so wonderful. Well, it's because their family has money. Or that person over there, they excel at sports. Well, that's because, of who their grandfather was, or because they hired the best coaches. But we all start with the same power, so to speak. It's our choices. There are many athletes out there who wake up at 3 and 4 in the morning and go work out first thing before they even go to school. So, are you doing that? Again, it's a choice. So, you're not stuck with whatever hand you think you've been dealt. Instead, we choose our way through success and through different habits and your attitude and your effort. So, and one of the things I'm going to caution is be very careful with the comparison game because comparison is the thief of joy. So, right now, again, when it comes to choices, let's focus on ourselves. Let's focus on the choices that we're making and the impact that that can make on our future because winning's not a choice. Winning is not a birthright, it is a choice. And that's what we want to do is we want to win for ourselves. Cheer on others as well, but win for ourselves so that those choices can move forward. Because your future is shaped less by one huge thing. Instead, it's daily repeated choices that contribute to the overall success long term. So, for instance, it's really easy to get stuck in choosing for others or doing for others, but you might need to choose boundaries. You might need to turn off those emails when you get home, or you might need to learn how to choose to ask for help, or whatever other small healthy habit that you can think of that would be able to bring you to where you need to be. So, again, understand that there's choices out there and how you can move forward. So I love this so much. I have quoted this forever, and you can ask my kids. I kind of beat it into their heads as well. But you have an option in the morning of how you're going to wake up. So, how did you wake up this morning? So, I'll be honest, it is my last Monday of the 2025-2026 school year because next Monday, I feel a little illness coming on that only Universal Studios can heal. And the Monday after that is Memorial Day. So this was my last Monday morning. And when I woke up, oh, good morning, Lord. But you could also wake up and say, good Lord, it's morning. And let's see, which one can you choose? Because they are very much options in our day. And it's funny because if you would have asked me last week, I'm pretty sure I had the, oh, good Lord, it's morning at least once. But again, it's a choice. And our nervous system and our language system go together. So just understand that our nervous system responds to absolutes versus choices. So, for example, if we start to look at how we frame things. So it might be like, oh my gosh, nothing's ever going to change versus the power of, I can change at least one thing today. Or looking at your desk, which sometimes I look around at mine and think, I'm never going to get this thing straightened up and organized. Versus, okay, let me start with this set of files right here. So it's understanding what we're telling ourselves is also feeding our nervous system. So it's this choice based thinking, which reduces panic, creates psychological flexibility. It helps to regulate our nervous system. It brings us from that really heightened state and helps us restore a sense of control. And with that, then we're able to take in data and not be so narrow mindedly focused. And when the brain believes that there's options, it often becomes less reactive, which can be very emotional and impulsive. And then it becomes more responsive, where you can come from a place of problem solving so that you can move forward and not stay stuck. So, this isn't pretending that things aren't hard. It's just recognizing you have a choice in how to move forward and you have a say in what comes next. So when we look at some real life examples, I hear this a lot, especially from some of the students I work with. One of the biggest things is I just can't keep doing this. I just can't. I can't. And I get the folded arms and everything's just a shutdown. So what I try to do with them is okay, let's take a minute and we might do some breathing work. We might do even go for a walk sometimes just to kind of reset the system because they're in such a tight place and a stressful place. And encourage, okay, what's one thing that you could do differently? You don't have to do all things. What's one thing? And again, there's that one choice. So that's really, really powerful. And I've seen a lot of kids be able to kind of reframe things and shift their focus, and even their body language changes. And we're able to go to a place of possibilities rather and move out of that place of pain. Another one is I have to change everything. We hear that a lot, especially our middle schoolers. And so we want to make sure that they understand that they can have those healthy habits. You don't have to change everything. Let's just look at one thing. So these are super powerful examples. And I love what Cheryl says, and that, there's a great quote that says, can't never could. And that's right. And again, the power of language to our nervous system. What are we signaling to our nervous system? And that's what starts with our language. So, what's one choice that you can make this week that'll help you move forward? First, you got to figure out what you want to move forward to. So, maybe you want to be able to say, "Good morning, Lord," instead of "Good Lord, it's morning." Well, then you would go to bed earlier. Or maybe you need to drink more water. Maybe you're dehydrated. Dehydration is a big thing and it really wreaks havoc on our health if you're not taking care of yourself. But maybe you can take a walk too. I've been doing a lot of research on walking, and it is absolutely amazing how something as simple as a 25-minute walk per day impacts your risk of Alzheimer's. It reduces it anywhere, it depends on the research, but anywhere from 25 to 45%. It improves, of course, cardiovascular health, but it also impacts mood and brain chemistry. So, again, maybe you want to go for that walk. Maybe you need to apply for that job, considering jumping and going somewhere different. Maybe it's time to do that. Maybe it's time to set a boundary. Are you constantly getting text messages from the same coworker until 11 or 12 at night? Maybe you need to put the setting on your phone that cuts that off. So, or maybe you need to take a break without guilt. I know a certain someone who's in the chat right now that take that break, take that day off, or maybe you need to start a project. Whatever it is, we're not searching for perfection. We're just wanting to move. And if you see small steps lead to phenomenal finishes, it just takes those little things to be able to keep moving forward. So life changes when we stop viewing ourselves as trapped and remembering that we have choices and we are choosers. Not every choice is easy. Not every option feels good, but even small choices begin creating a completely different direction. I mean, the options are limitless. So we want that forward movement, practical encouragement, solutions over hopelessness. We just want to make sure that we're not trying to fix everything in one day or in one session or in one to-do list. But you do get to choose what comes next. So sometimes that's the best place to begin. You have a choice to and the power to move forward. And I'm here to help because solutions start here. And you can grab those solutions by being able to go to my website. There's a store, that's this one that says free resources, scan here. There's different downloadables that can help you kind of funnel what it is that you want. Sometimes we need to take a minute and write it out in order to understand the direction that we want to go. And this is a great way. They're free, 100% free. Check it out. There's also a 5-day reset on that. Or you can also in the store, but you can also scan over here. That's my website. But you can sign up for a 15-minute encouragement call. And that encouragement call will be us connecting, talking a little bit about what it is that you'd like and some of the options that I offer and how you can move forward. So you can also share this with somebody that you think might be feeling stuck and is in need of some choices. Make sure you subscribe. And you can also drop something in the comments and just let me know what you think. Or maybe there's one area that you would like to see some choices and some options, and you can put that in there. So I appreciate your time and thank everybody who's here. And wow, 20 minutes. I didn't think it was that long. All right. So you guys are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you because I think 7 o'clock was better. But all right. I'm pretty sure that's it for now. Again, I appreciate you guys being here, and I will work on getting this edited and back up. Yeah, I know you're a good Miller. You're perfect. We don't need any options. Well, I have an option for you, but we'll see if you take it. But all right, guys, everybody have a fantastic night. Thank you again. Bye.